All right, I am live. Awesome. I was on the preview window. So, by the way, first time, welcome for those arriving. First time I'm doing a React live. Not sure how that's gonna roll. I double check. I have seen nothing yet from XAI or Elon Musk account. Let me refresh over there. If any of you know anything about it, just leave a comment. Make sure so the Awesome. Okay, so they do have here the Grok 4 live stream will begin soon. Stay tuned. I'm tuned. And this is going to be amazing. I'm excited for this. Really excited for this. Make sure to support, leave a like, comment. Tell me, you guys tell me if the sound is good. Amazing. I'm excited for this. Okay, let me share. Let me try to share the screen to make sure everything is working fine. It's going to start soon. So let me see if this is good. It's cutting a little bit my persona over there, but that's fine. We don't need to look at me the whole time. Let me do this. Let me change something here. I make sure I have the window first before I change it. Okay, let's see. XAI, there it is. Okay. It will start soon. Grok 4 live stream will begin soon. Stay tuned. A couple minutes ago. Guys, I'm gonna enjoy my pizza. Long day today over here. But I'm gonna keep an eye here on the. I try to manage learning how to deal with the windows. Ah, this smells good. So I was stuck with myself on the. It's the first time I do a premiere, and I was stuck with myself on the. They have like a room before I go live. I had to click on go live. I'm on a hardcore diet, but not today. So I searched on Grok. What are the possible capabilities that Grok 4 is going to bring? Let me see if I can find it. My view. Not sure if it's the best to make a live while eating. So my view is that if Grok reaches the present capabilities of ChatGPT, and nothing crazy, I'm talking about image generation. Now they're generating 4 images, and they generate like as fast as, almost as fast as Midjourney, pretty close to it. So if they can bring more control to it, like I try to generate some images that, for example, I ask to generate a dolphin and it generates a whale. So like those precisions, they are, I mean, I think they should be there, right? No reason for they not to be there. Let me refresh here the page, make sure I'm not losing anything. So those things should be there. And so precision on image generation, variety in style, and easy. And the best, one of the best elements would be just natural language in generating such images. Uh, and like I said, if they just reach, they get are close to VO3, that's already, it's gonna be a big deal. Like that's gonna be, I don't think that they need to surpass any of the ones in the field right now, like ChatGPT or ChatGPT. I don't even use Meta, but ChatGPT, the ones that I use, Perplexity, I use more or less. I think Perplexity, it's very good to find sources, but it's too much content. It generates just too much content. It does not simplify the context, like of what I'm searching. So if they just bring natural language, image generation is there, natural language, more control over it. Video, if they get close to VO3, it's gonna be amazing with sound and voice. I don't think they're gonna be there yet, and that's totally fine. I feel like only now they are getting back to it. Like they have not even, they don't even have updated their websites. And here, let me show you guys. Not even their websites is, or maybe it is right now. So their website is pretty cool. And if I go here, let me remove myself from this. So if I go right here on news, we still are in February. So yeah, they have not even upgraded this. And how far is it? Like the technology is out there. Why not just have like, because they do generate content, but it's just writing content for the, let me get out of here so we can see the website. So it's writing content for the news on X itself. But how far it is to be more agentic, to have the AI making the agentic work of getting the new, creating image, and organizing in a nice manner. Like how far are they from that, right? Because I believe the technology is there. All they truly need to do is just to organize it. So their website, XAI, it's not updated. Now they are coming back to it. I believe they might update it. Going back to possible capabilities of Grok 4. So what I have here is enhanced reasoning. So Grok 4 could feature advanced logical reasoning, surpassing Grok 3, Grok 3's thinking mode, solving complex problems in math, science, or abstract domains with greater accuracy and speed. Okay, so there is surely the public that uses this. I'm not a big one on them. This is the next one I'm pretty big on, multimodal integration. So it might handle text, images, audio, and possibly video inputs, outputs seamlessly with improved image analysis, generation, or even real-time video understanding. And I repeat, it's just on my view that, let me get back to, let me face, where's my border? Oh no. Okay, let's see if that's gonna work. There it is. So it's just on my view that the multimodal integration, it's kind of a big element over there, because sometimes I don't see much difference on that improvement on reasoning. I definitely see a huge difference on the improvement in natural language, on talking back and forth, and like with intervals, with interruption. I do see big difference in that sense. Man, I give this shirt is not too, does a little bit good. Okay. What else? Let's go for the next uh, capability. Let's see. The other capability is broader knowledge scope, right? So it's like, in a sense, more of the same. Um, Unless you were very specific on it. So expect deeper, more contextual understanding of niche topics, leveraging real-time data from sources like X or web with better handling of ambiguous or incomplete queries. Yeah, like I feel just the overall improvement in natural language will bring that to life. What else? Improved interaction. So on the improved interaction, Grok 4 could offer more natural human-like conversations, excellent, with refined voice mode capabilities, expanded beyond the current iOS Android app limitations. That's something I'm expecting. And personalized response tuning, response tuning. So, okay, so that's a lot over there. If they can truly achieve that, uh, adding the image and the video generator, then I'm gonna be very excited about it. So, for some of you might know, for those who do not know, that's the field that I'm pursuing. It's video production. And by the way, if I'm lagging, I just came to YouTube. If anyone see that I'm lagging or something is not according, just let me know. I will make sure to try to fix over here. First time streaming a React, so I'm back and forth here trying to do as best as I can. And so if they can bring that video, and I'm on that, like video generation, content generation, my intention is to create movies and pitch movies as well. Uh, I do enjoy the filming, the set, and all that. So I don't think I want to abandon that. Therefore, it's a huge savings to be able to have AI and just generate the content and have it affordable to create like a full trailer, let's put like this, with just AI. This is big. This is really, really big. And we are seeing that happening already with VO3, I believe, gave the first steps. Hopefully, Grok 4 gives the next steps. So it's still thinking, and I have one more over there. Let me change the screen here, which is the API. So this is very good for those who develop tools with Grok. API and scalability. It might power more robust API services for developers with enhanced performance for enterprise level applications, aligning with XAI's API offering at XAI/API. So yeah, so that's big for those who create content with it. Let me take a look here. Yeah, they are making their time. No hurry. Let me refresh. You guys have found a link or something that they might have started? I don't think so. It's just the same page over there. Hey, hopefully it's worth the wait. Let's see how things are gonna unfold. So anyone, any idea what what could happen with this Grok 4? Expectations are high, so Elon Musk were working with the team. It seems like it's supposed to be released by the end of last month, and it wasn't. So I don't know. Maybe they're gonna cause a good impression, and hopefully they do. And even so, like even if they really don't, I think that, and I don't mind repeating that. I think that once they are back on the ground, I felt like the Elon Musk and the team was not that focused on it. Once they're back on it and full force, then we're gonna have the real shift. Then we're gonna have real results. And if they can bring something compared to VO3 and like flow, I should say flow, something more complete, this is going to be huge. But just to bring something compared to VO3, which is the video with sound and voice, and like once more, it's pretty terrible to ask create a white car and it brings a green bicycle. So just like the precision on that watch create on the details, it's gonna happen, but I feel like this is in a sense, it's kind of, it feels like a big leap if someone is trying to create something very, very detailed. And I feel like that's the next stage. It's to have both the control and through natural language to achieve that precision. So I want to this and that and place it here and there and so on and so forth. So that precision, I believe it's kind of the next leap. The technology of sound, people, motion, lip sync, everything is there. Yeah, man, that was a rant. Okay, let's see. And we have over here. Other interesting information is that, I don't know if you guys saw that, Sora added the image input to create videos. That's pretty cool. I tried that today. It's pretty decent. And I tried, one thing that they still don't have is once you expand the scene, and it's gonna get there. Like, I mean, I'm not being pushy. It's natural to be pushy because we want to see the best tool out there, but it's gonna be there. It's gonna, I believe, in a couple months we might have that. So you cannot expand the scene with the sound. You still have to use the VO2 to expand that scene. But I'm excited to see once you are able to expand the scene with the sound. Another game changer, definitely another game changer. What else? ChatGPT 5. Let me see what are the possible capabilities of ChatGPT 5. I think it's pretty much like the same. Once we see the tool, it might be impressive. 5 possible capabilities. Therefore, it sounds like more of the same. And there are sometimes they make the change, but the change, it's not, it causes the opposite effect. In my experience, they had this experience that this tool that they had to remove it. It was too it's not friendly, too agreeable. One of the experiences there is that it's that the natural talking, so it was already good. They were already talking naturally, but then they tried to make it too naturally and gave a weird accent. So that was strange. So that was a bad improvement. That's the present day. Before it felt more natural because it didn't have that weird kind of tonality. But now it's kind of, I don't know what's going on there. But overall, progress is incredible. So overall progress, it's like out of this world. So for example, and I'm gonna be back and forth. If it happens to have any question, just let me know. Just leave in the comment. I'm back and forth here. I'm just trying to make a comparison of what might happen with ChatGPT 5. And by the way, those are just possible capabilities. There's no certainty there. I do have higher hopes though for Grok 4. I do not think they're gonna, in a sense, turn the table. I really don't think that. I hope they do, and it's gonna be a good surprise if they do. But I don't think they're gonna turn the table. I feel like if they reach even ground, that's gonna be very, very satisfactorily already. So possible capabilities of ChatGPT 5 to process and generate text, image, audio, and potentially video seamlessly. So I think when they bring that aspect here, it's to seamlessly, is that to bring like spontaneously? Apparent gasp. Yeah, it's almost spontaneously. So it's not spontaneously, but it's spontaneously. Because lately, ChatGPT have been taking a little bit too long to generate the images. And I do hope it's because of that. They are implementing, in a sense, the ChatGPT 5. I don't know if that's how it works, though. So it could handle complex text like analyzing video. This capability of analyzing video, it's another impressive one. It's gonna be very, very useful. And I do hope they also bring the capability, just like the Copilot on Microsoft, the capability to observe your screen and help you with whatever activity you are doing and help you with whatever you need. Because that for me is a big one. Copilot and Copilot I could not use. Now I just remember I used the Google one, which it's Google AI Tools. I forgot the title right now, but I hope they do that. The screen to observe your screen and to help you there. That's extremely useful. All right, what else? Let me go back over here. Let me just see if they started there. No, I don't think they did. No, they did not. Okay, so let me go back to ChatGPT 5. So ChatGPT 5, this one we went through already, generating text to videos output, possibly integrating OpenAI's Sora, okay, or providing real-time captions and summaries for audio video inputs. That's great tool already. So you see, those are very close by, like it's a day-to-day thing that you can use for like endless day-to-day activity. So that's the sort of customer that I am, right? Therefore, I'm going a little bit more specialized on also creating content, video, sound, voice, so on and so forth, images. So, for example, it might diagnose plant disease from photos or assist with video editing. Those are good things. Um, Enhanced voice capabilities could enable more natural, human-like conversation, potentially surpassing current voice assistants like Siri or Alexa in realism and dynamism. I never used Alexa. I get the impression that Alexa is like years, like centuries ahead of Siri. But Siri, I quit trying to use Siri. I wish it worked though. Like I truly wish it worked. Those tools, I really wish Apple tools would work. But no, like not even their dictating, it's does the work. I do think like Apple needs a serious return to the basics because there are so many basic things that uh, it's kind of sad to talk about. It's even sad. I lost even my line of thought here for the live. Okay, let me leave a comment there. Grok 4. Okay. So yeah, I do think ChatGPT surpassed Siri like once it started. Even the dictating, like if I typing or dictating something on pages, I don't use Apple. I believe it or not, I dictate for ChatGPT, then I copy and I paste on whichever like Word or Pages. I'm not even remembering the name of it. Pages, right? Yeah, so that's what I do in realism and dynamism. Like, good, that's very good. I do feel like the voice capabilities and overall, it's very good. Of ChatGPT, it's very good. I do think overall, most people have this experience as well. Let's see what else do we have. Superior reasoning. Let's get back to that superior reasoning. Boom. Okay, so superior reasoning and chain of thought processing. ChatGPT 5 is expected to integrate advanced reasoning capabilities from OpenAI's O1 and O3 models. enabling it to think longer and solve complex multi-step problems. With higher accuracy, it may dynamically adapt its reasoning depth based on the task, outperforming ChatGPT 4.5. Ooh, 95%, around 95% on MMLU and 40 to 50% on benchmarks. So there is a, oops, okay, I got a notification there. Let's see if that's anything. Sometimes I read these numbers and I already kind of don't really feel they mean anything. Because you see those crazy numbers of, uh, it's even funny, like you see these crazy numbers and then you try it, it's just, it doesn't seem pretty much, it doesn't seem anything different. It's just like the same thing. So I think that's funny. Okay, so this could make it ideal for applications like personalized tutoring, scientific research, or coding, where it can break down complex problems or troubleshoot systems. All right. So unified intelligence system. So unlike, another thing, talking about this, the thinking capabilities, memory is another capability that I think I don't see much of announcement about it, but it's something that I basically heard that it's not there yet as well. I'm not sure if that's a big thing. It's not that it's something that I kind of had an experience with. Like I always ask, oh, do you remember our early chats, so on and so forth. So unlike previous modeling, so let's go to this unified intelligence system. Unlike, yeah, I believe you guys see every time I check it out over here, just if they started. It seems like they didn't. Um, Perfect. So unlike previous model requiring users to switch between specialized system, oh, that's nice. I thought this was already integrated, if that's what I think it is. So instead of switching from systems, ChatGPT 5 aims to unify these capabilities into a single model. It may automatically select the best approach for each prompt, simplifying user interaction and improving efficiency. I feel like this is that sort of thing that, unless it is said, we're not going to realize unless you use ChatGPT for specific things. But I wouldn't identify that. But definitely a nice move. This unification could enable autonomous AI agents capable of handling real-world tasks like scheduling, customer service, or project management with minimal human oversight. So this is one that I think it's big, and everything is moving towards that direction, which is agentic AI, if I pronounced that correctly. So agentic AI simply means it can do activities. So it create things, it schedule things, it create things for you. So that's what the agentic AI is. Um, let's see. What else we got here? We have too many other things. Oh, wow. This is pretty detailed. Let's see. Let's go there. Expanded context window and memory. Oh, we thought I just said about something about memory. ChatGPT 5 may support a massive context window, potentially up to 20 million tokens, allowing it to process entire documents, multi-hour transcripts, or large data sets in one go. This would enhance its ability to maintain coherence in long conversation or complex tasks. Improved memory features could allow it to recall user preferences, past interactions, and detailed conversation histories, offering highly personalized response. So I bet they're gonna have to have the tab where you say, "Oh, I don't want this to be remembered." Enhanced, of course. Like still remember the Apple ad for the what's the name? Let me check right here. It's the, sorry about that, guys. So incognito. incognito window. So their ad was that if you're buying a present for someone, you don't want that person to know that you're buying the present. So that's funny. So they might, ChatGPT might have the incognito tab as well. Um, what else? So enhanced memory. This one, I believe it's a natural progress, therefore a necessary one, and it makes a huge difference. It's that kind of thing that you really, and I'm talking about enhanced reliability and reduced hallucinations. It's the sort of thing that you really are not thinking of, because if you are using the tool, you have the expectation that the tool is going to work. But it's the sort of thing that once it's there, then you realize, dude, this needs to be fixed. So ChatGPT 5 is expected to address issues like hallucinations, generate incorrect information through better training data, and reinforcement learning from human feedback, RLHF. It may achieve higher accuracy with estimates suggesting improved performance over GPT-4o's 87.2% accuracy on certain tasks, advanced safety protocols, including bias mitigation and toxicity detection. That's the sort of thing that what are you guys talking about? Will likely make it more trustworthy for sensitive applications like healthcare or education. Definitely an important topic, but I don't see this toxicity detection. Autonomous task execution and customization. GPT-5 could power AI agents that perform tasks like writing emails, so that's the agentic thing, managing schedules or generating creative content, scripts, 3D assets. Ooh, 3D assets, that's a nice one. From natural language to 3D assets with minimal input. So yeah, so 3D assets, it's interesting because it's a big one in a sense. Definitely not as much as a video with audio and sound in the back, but 3D is also an interesting one. Like, let's see. Autonomous task execution, we just talked about this one. Teaching board games or assisting with homework. Okay, let me see if this is like, so it may offer deeper personalization that to user tone preferences or specific tasks, teaching board games or assisting with homework. So that one I believe is with the camera, so it's the vision. By using the vision, it has an awareness, and I even think that Grok already has that one, but I didn't try it. And basically, the vision brings the external world inside, and it gives information. So the improvement of that one is also a spectacular tool. Like, this is another spectacular functionality, I should say, not tool. What else? Broader accessibility and API integration, same thing for those who use to develop other tools. ChatGPT 5 is expected to be available across multiple tiers, free, uh, standard intelligence, plus and pro higher intelligence with advanced feature like voice, canvas, and deep research. So this one, let me even get back here because this is a big thing for Grok, right? So I think like, not that they need though, but let me make a parallel with Apple back in the day. That Apple had an excellent a business plan. It was excellent. So basically, they had very affordable pages, numbers, and Keynote. It was $10, $20. Now today is free, compared to like $100 per year of Microsoft tools. That was amazing, even though their computer were more expensive. But that same business design can be used over here. So you can have that free tier that allows you, like iMovies, and they have the iMovies, GarageBand, right? So I think Grok should apply this. It's to have a free tier in tire, the pronunciation there, but I believe it makes sense. A free tier in which you already can develop some work, right? So you can edit a full video with iMovie. you can write a full text and almost a book basically with pages, but you do have improvements on those tools that it's going to make a lot easier, that it's a lot more interesting, that would take people who trained on that free tool to the next level, and they are able to afford, and they know that it's worth to afford because they already have experience with that tool. So I think like and bringing to the image, video, and sound generation, I definitely think that Grok, if they do that, they definitely gonna get a huge chunk of the market of having that free tier, which and tier TIER, which you go and you are able to develop some works, and then if you want something more, you can pay an amount. Then you're gonna have extra tools. So that it's so simple, but it's close to the genius business model. Many businesses, successful ones, does that. Like another one that I really enjoy is DaVinci Resolve. So even though I have the paid one, the studio, uh, and to have the option to have the free is already an immense advantage. Even if you are established in the market, I think that's a big thing because to use that strategy just to establish oneself in the market, that's okay. But I feel like even if you're established in the market, if you use that strategy, you're gonna have higher chance to keep yourself in the market, and you're gonna have such a big market. Like Apple is not being able to manage and advance with their tools. Like they are doing a very poor job on that. But if Grok applies that and it has the capacity to manage and improve its tools frequently, then it's gonna take a huge chunk of the market. So there you go. So that business strategy, I think it's one gold business strategy. Let's see what else here. We just look at those over here. API step towards artificial general intelligence, AGI. For some, this seems like a huge crazy thing, but we basically gonna see it when it's here. So why not achieving full AGI? GPT-5 is seen as a significant step toward it, with improvement human-like intelligence, decision-making, and task versatility. Sam Altman has hinted at its potential to outperform humans in many economically valuable tasks. I do think we are already there in a sense, which AI can generate a lot of things better than humans in a sense, right? Like surely to find a huge variety of information, nothing too different from the internet, but with much more accuracy and speed. Let's put like this. Select, give feedback, so on and so forth, right? Uh, for some reason, I even don't truly follow up too much, like, because it does seems like a crazy thing, AGI, but it's not gonna happen like something crazy out of the blue is gonna happen. Those progresses, they are incremental, and even though it causes a huge impression, it's not like I feel like, how can I put it? Maybe it's not so much about the achievement of it itself. Maybe it's more about the availability. Like if something is just like in a lab in the corner of the world and they show us, I think that's one thing. It's another thing. It's if it's available and it's in front of you. It's another thing. But that impression might stick up for a while and then go away. I don't think it's gonna be like too wild or too crazy. Um, or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Yeah, let me even catch my breath here. Let's take a look. Uh, okay. There's this joke like when they take long to start a presentation, it's probably because they're gonna have something like too wild to show. If they show up and don't have anything like too crazy, it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be, oh, great, thanks. Oh yeah. Any news? Let's see. Let me grab a bite here. Grab a No news. So I'm on both XAI and on Elon Musk account on X. Nothing there yet. Yeah, that's it. I'm looking here. If anyone has any comment, if anyone has anything to say, hey, just feel free to leave a comment, say something. I'm drinking some more. I ate a lot already, some pizza. Maybe. That's good. Let me hydrate. Just don't make a question while I'm eating. Mm. So I'm checking out here, everyone waiting. That's funny. Okay. Oh man. Give me one sec here. I'm here though. Well, one not good. I was saying good thing, good for them, I guess. One interesting thing that a few interesting things happened today. Last week, I commented upon the IO, like this, the swing thing that was happening on IO against IO, which was the IOIYO against the IO from Sam Altman and John Ive. And I was commenting about that, and I was talking about how that that kind of tool, which is basically a ear plug, and they're trying to bring like natural language and a few other tools, but it's like the tool for AI. And I said that I don't think that's the tool with, and I want to tell which tool I think that it's going to be, it can be a complete change with AI integrated. So that tool, I don't think it's the ideal tool, and I tell you guys why. Like, I'm a visual person, right? And I think that's a majority in a sense, is that like on the phone, think of the phone. Most of the time, there are some of us that listen a lot of music on the phone, but most of the times we make a huge amount of use of the screen. So we're very visual creatures, and uh, that too, IO too. Even though I expect they get some a share market there because that advances a little bit the technology, the natural language, natural communication, and to give commands and have agentic AI through voice technology to receive and uh, talk and execute those commands. Uh, it does not bring the visuals, and the visuals are very big a deal of the use of such technology. So the technology that I believe that, and it is a technology, but the tool or the gadget that I believe that it's going to be huge and that has the potential to change the phone is glasses, is to apply the AI on glasses. And I do feel that's a big one, a really big one once we get there. And I said that like was funny because I said that like it was when was this last Sunday, and by the unfolding of this week, Meta invested 3.5 billion on Ray-Ban. They of course were developing with them. They also started developing with Oakley, but now they invest like 3.5 billion on Ray-Ban. The news that I read gave kind of the information is maybe they did, but it sounds like they really did. And my point was that let me tell you guys why I think the glass is not in the state that it is at this moment, Let me tell you guys why do I think that the glasses is like the biggest, uh, has the huge potential to change the cell phone. So basically, the glasses have that potential to bring the visuals. And sometimes we think that the visual, like we wear glasses, right? Sometimes we think that the visual is going to be right in front of us. But of course, we don't need to think about that anymore because we can see the HoloLens from Windows and also the one from Apple. I believe it's Vision. Meta has their own as well. So once you have the capability to give like a kind of a spatial possibility to what you see on normal glasses, then it's just an improvement from there, and you can work with the visual element of the tool, right? So you don't need the phone in a sense until you get used to it. I don't think my generation, not that we are like too further ahead, but I don't know how easy it's going to be for many of us to get used to that. But anyway, so you do have the visual element there. And not only that, I was observing how many inputs that it's just out of this world that you have with the glasses. So you do have the hand, you do have touch, so you do have the voice, of course. That's kind of one of the natural progression. Uh, what else? So here are the more interesting ones that is kind of futuristic in a sense, but they already exist. One is the with the eyes, right? So sometimes just to either blink or stare through a spot for a while, or there are like motions that it can do, so it can respond to that motion of your eyes. That technology has been there for a while now, where which it identifies the direction your eyes is going. So this is pretty cool. So you have an input with your eyes. Another input that I discovered it to be too much of a word that I just read that exists is that since it's touching your skin, that it's multiple inputs, because it does have like, and I cannot even speak the words there. It's not waves, but I don't know, like it has the pulse, like your your veins. It has the heat. It has all those elements, but it has kind of the, and it's not invasive, I guess. Like it's not like infrared, but it has that potential through waves, I believe, to get information. It's out there already. I just forgot what it is, and maybe I'm making it sound sillier than it actually is. But that those are inputs that I have not thought about. So it has all the inputs necessary. So it has a lot more inputs than the cell phone itself, and it has all the possibilities of the outputs that we use most, which is hearing and vision. So yeah, so that was a big news like for this week, and that was very interesting. I was impressed. I said, "Holy moly, really?" I talked about that like last week, and those guys invested in. I'm not giving advice here, though. Not giving investment advice. But if you make a lot of money and you think it was me, I'm gonna be right here. All right. So I think they are making a Portuguese time, I guess. They might start at 9, maybe. They said they are going to start at 8 p.m. Now they might start at 9. Oh man, that's funny. Okay, let's see what's going on around here. Nothing there yet. Oh man, let me see my eye. I think my eye's kind of red. Long day today. Oh, talk about it. The light came off. That seems cool though. It's not bad like this, is it? I have a sensor here. No, I don't like this. Let me turn on the light. Oh man. Man, today was a long day. Started at 5:30. Still going. And busy though. But excited. And I thought today I was doing some gaming as well. We had this game. Let me see the name. Let me see if I can find the name. Avon. This sounds like more Empire, like beauty product actually, than Avon Empire. What's the name of that game? Enview Empire with a Unview Empire. So I thought I was going to play this game today, but it was actually last month that they released the game. So it seems like an RTS, but every single player is an individual player. So that's very interesting concept. That's a game I want to play. That's a game I'm curious to play. Hopefully they bring a new test soon. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do that I should have done that I have not done. Let me see if I can add this stream somewhere else as well. Yeah, I got here like 7:40. I ate a couple pieces meaning half pizza, and got ready for this. It was worth it though. It's like I got it done right. I got it done fast for a first kind of react without reacting. It's pretty good. Okay, so let me try to do that, and hopefully I don't mess up with. If I mess up, I just fix it up. No big deal. Okay, let's see. Stream summary. Stream manager. Offline. Once I get the hang of this, man, it's gonna be here so frequently. Okay, let's start that. What am I looking for? What's the next step? It should be OBS. Docs. Multiple output. Start. Alright, let me double check here. Kinda did work, but it did not actually. Let me refresh. There it is. Here I am. Okay. Title. Grok 4 Live. Okay. Yeah, they didn't start. I didn't got their call yet. Oh man. I'm drinking some water. And see what's going on here. Ah, that's good. Okay. I have a little bit of delay. I think I said that before. Like me drinking water, I need to turn off that camera. It's not. It's so weird. Oh man. Hey. Oh, that's so funny. I can't stop laughing. Ah, come on, guys. I'm excited for Grok 4. Come on. It's funny I'm looking at other lives here. It's same thing. They're all refreshing, refreshing, refreshing. Leave a comment there, guys, even if by mistake. Okay, let's see. I went through so many AI information, but my brain is kind of enough. Let me see if I have something cool here to talk about. Um, so I do have this project that I'm working on, but man, I've been so busy, which is natural, I guess, for the location I'm at. Everyone seems to be in that condition, that busy condition. But I'm advancing, I'm improving. So basically, probably when I get back to it, the hype will be gone. I'm developing a project with uh, the Bigfoot hype. So my idea is to have monkeys acting as Bigfoot, and that's like everything AI generated. So it's basically monkeys acting as Bigfoot, and um, and showing the region, right? So it's like tourist guides, and then they start getting hunted by what it seems like the Bigfoot. So I'd like to make a few stories on that, and then make a few sequences. Like I got the concept of kind of multiple mini seasons, if I can name it like that. So I launched the first one, but it's very simple because I'm glad that I'm in a good stage on editing, because I'm in that stage that I can do some things, and uh, I'm learning. So it's that exciting moment. It's not that annoying moment where I don't really, or whoever doesn't need to know how to do the thing, and it's like take like 4 days. And I'm exaggerating, but it takes like 4 days for you just to get like to cut a clip or something like that, right? So I'm in that good stage on editing that I'm still learning. It's not excellent yet. But once I get that done, and we have, and I think it's going to be in the perfect timing on the time that we're going to have better video, sound, overall generators, then I'm going to bring those stories to life. So this is one of them. I want to make a weird kind of, it's kind of a comic, a thriller. Then I want to have like a mystery kind of, also with a little bit of comic, like there will always be some comedy there. I want to have fun with that. So the first one, like I have elaborated, it's pretty cool, but I'm still like take days to make a 2 minutes story, but it's cool. I can bring my imagination to life, so that's something that I'm always excited about. Um, and yeah, I want to do those sequences. I had like it's impressive. Like I'm just starting with the channel. I'm not even. I'm more worried at this moment. I am more worried about proficiency than with actually viewership. But of course, I'm pursuing the viewers, but I'm still kind of the on the other aspect. Oh, let me have a charger here for my phone. And so it was an interesting exploring. Like I have like so very few views on my videos for now, but I launched like the shorts about these stories that I'm telling, and I have like more than 1,000 views. So for me, that was a big thing. For many, that's not much, but for me, it was I said, whoa, that got me thrilled. Okay, let me just have this charging over here. Is it charging? Okay, let's see if you're live. Nope. You guys are gonna stay here until they kick me out of the building. Okay, we do have something going on there. All right, finally, signs of life. Let me do this. Let me check sound and everything. Uh-oh. Is that working? Is that working? No way. I have a solution for that. Guys, let me know if you can hear or not as well. You guys are gonna stay here until they kick me out. No sound?
Grok 3 to Grok 4, we're actually putting a lot of compute in reasoning in RL.
Yeah, and just like you said, this is literally the fastest moving field. And Grok 2 is like the high school student by today's standard. If you look back in the last 12 months, Grok 2 was only a concept. We didn't even have Grok 2 12 months ago. And then by training Grok 2, that was the first time we scale up like the pre-training. We realized that if you actually do the data ablation really carefully, and the infra, and also the algorithm, we can actually push the pre-training quite a lot by amount of 10x to make the model the best pre-trained base model. And that's why we built Colossus, the world's supercomputer with 100,000 H100. And then with the best pre-trained model, and we realized if you can collect these verifiable outcome reward, you can actually train this model to start thinking from the first principle, start to reason, correct its own mistakes. And that's where the Grok reasoning comes from. And today we ask the question, what happens if you take the expansion of the Colossus with all 200,000 GPUs, put all these into RL, 10x more compute than any of the models out there on reinforcement learning, unprecedented scale, what's going to happen? So this is the story of Grok 4, and Tony share some insight with the audience.
Yeah. Let's just talk about how smart Grok 4 is. So I guess we can start discussing this benchmark called Humanities Last Exam. And this benchmark is a very, very challenging benchmark. Every single problem is curated by subject matter experts. It's in total 2,500 problems, and it consists of many different subjects: mathematics, natural sciences, engineering, and also all the humanities subjects. So essentially, when it was first released, actually like earlier this year, most of the models out there can only get single-digit accuracy on this benchmark. Yeah, so we can look at some of those examples. So there is this mathematical problem, which is about natural transformations in category theory. And there's this organic chemistry problem that talks about electrocyclic reactions. And also there's this linguistic problem that tries to ask you about distinguishing between closed and open syllabus from a Hebrew source text. So you can see also it's a very wide range of problems. And every single problem is PhD or even advanced research level problems.
Yeah, I mean, there are no humans that can actually answer these, can get a good score. I mean, if you actually, so like any given human, what's the best that any human could score? I mean, I'd say maybe 5% optimistically.
Yeah.
So this is much harder than what any human can do. It's incredibly difficult. And you can see from the types of questions, like you might be incredible in linguistics or mathematics or chemistry or physics or any one of a number of subjects, but you're not going to be at a postgrad level in everything. And Grok 4 is a postgrad level in everything. Like it's just, some of these things are just worth repeating. Like Grok 4 is postgraduate, like PhD level in everything. Better than PhD, but like most PhDs would fail. So it's better that, I mean, at least with respect to academic questions, I want to just emphasize this point. With respect to academic questions, Grok 4 is better than PhD level in every subject, no exceptions. Now, this doesn't mean that at times it may lack common sense, and it has not yet invented new technologies or discovered new physics, but that is just a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it may discover new technologies as soon as later this year, and I would be shocked if it has not done so next year. So I would expect Grok to, literally discover new technologies that are actually useful no later than next year and maybe end of this year. And it might discover new physics next year. And within 2 years, I'd say almost certainly. So just let that sink in. Yeah.
So okay, so I guess we can talk about what's behind the scene of Grok 4. As Jimmy mentioned, we actually throwing a lot of compute into this training. When it started, it's only also a single digit, sorry, the previous slide, sorry. Yeah, it's only a single digit number. But as you start putting in more and more training compute, it started to gradually become smarter and smarter, and eventually solved a quarter of the HLE problems. And this is without any tools. The next thing we did was to adding tools capabilities to the model. And unlike Grok 3, I think Grok 3 actually is able to use CRO as well, but here we actually make it more native in the sense that we put the tools into training. Grok 3 was only relying on generalization. Here, we actually put the tools into training. And it turns out this significantly improves the model's capability of using those tools.
Yeah, I remember we had like deep search back in the days.
Yeah.
So how is this different?
Yeah, exactly. So deep search was exactly the Grok 3 reasoning model, but without any specific training, but we only asked it to use those tools. So compared to this, it was much weaker in terms of its tool capabilities.
And unreliable.
And unreliable, right. Yes.
And to be clear, these are still, I'd say, this is still a fairly primitive tool use. If you compare it to, say, the tools that are used at Tesla or SpaceX, where you're using, finite element analysis and computational fluid dynamics, and you're able to run, or say like Tesla does, like crash simulations where the simulations are so close to reality that if the test doesn't match the simulation, you assume that the test article is wrong. That's how good the simulations are. So Grok is not currently using any of the tools, the really powerful tools that a company would use, but that is something that we will provide it with later this year. So we'll have the tools that a company has, and have very accurate physics simulator. Ultimately, the thing that'll make the biggest difference is being able to interact with the real world via humanoid robots. So you combine sort of Grok with Optimus, and it can actually interact with the real world and figure out if it's it can formulate an hypothesis and then confirm if that hypothesis is true or not. So we're really, I think about like where we are today. We're at the beginning of an immense intelligence explosion. We're in the intelligence Big Bang right now, and we're at the most interesting time to be alive of any time in history. Yeah. Now that said, we need to make sure that the AI is a good AI, good Grok. And the thing that I think is most important for AI safety, at least my biological neural net tells me, the most important thing for AI is to be maximally truth-seeking. So this is a very fundamental. Like you can think of AI as this super genius child that ultimately will outsmart you, but you can still you can instill the right values and encourage it to be sort of, truthful, I don't know, honorable, good things like the values you want to instill in a child that would ultimately grow up to be incredibly powerful. Yeah. So yeah, this is really, I'd say, we say tools. These are still primitive tools, not the kind of tools that serious commercial companies use. But we will provide it with those tools, and I think it will be able to solve, with those tools, real-world technology problems. In fact, I'm certain of it. It's just a question of how long it takes.
Yes, exactly.
So is it just compute all you need, Tony?
Sorry?
Is it just compute all you need at this point?
Well, you need compute plus the right tools, and then ultimately to be able to interact with the physical world.
Yes.
And then, we'll effectively have an economy that is, ultimately an economy that is thousands of times bigger than our current economy, or maybe millions of times. If you think of civilization as percentage completion of the Kardashev scale, where Kardashev 1 is using all the energy output of a planet, and Kardashev 2 is using all the energy output of a sun, and 3 is all the energy output of a galaxy. We're only, in my opinion, probably like closer to 1% of Kardashev 1 than we are to 10%. So like maybe a point, or 1 or 2% of Kardashev 1. So we will get to most of the way, like 80-90% Kardashev 1, and then hopefully, if civilization doesn't self-annihilate, and then Kardashev 2, like it's the actual notion of a human economy, assuming civilization continues to progress, will seem very quaint in retrospect. It will seem like sort of cavemen throwing sticks into a fire level of economy compared to what the future will hold. It's very exciting. I've been at times kind of worried about, like, well, is this seems like it's somewhat unnerving to have intelligence created that is far greater than our own. And will this be bad or good for humanity? It's like I think it'll be good. Most likely it'll be good. Yeah. Yeah. But I somewhat reconciled myself to the fact that even if it wasn't going to be good, I'd at least like to be alive to see it happen. So, yeah.
So actually, one yeah, I think one technical problem that we still need to solve, besides just compute, is how do we unblock the data bottleneck? Because when we try to scale up the RL, in this case, we did invent a lot of new techniques, innovations, to allow us to figure out how to find a lot of challenging RL problems to work on. It's not just the problem itself needs to be challenging, but also it needs to be, you also need to have like a reliable signal to tell the model, you did it wrong, you did it right. This is the sort of the principle of reinforcement learning. And as the model gets smarter and smarter, the number of cool problems or challenging problems will be less and less.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a new type of challenge that we need to surpass besides just compute. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually are running out of actual test questions to ask. So there's like even questions that are ridiculously hard, if not essentially impossible for humans, that are written down questions are swiftly becoming trivial for AI. Mm-hmm. So then there's, but you know, the one thing that is an excellent judge of things is reality. So, because physics is the law, ultimately, everything else is a recommendation. You can't break physics. So the ultimate test, I think, for whether an AI is, the ultimate reasoning test is reality.
Yes.
So you invent a new technology, like say, improve the design of a car or a rocket, or create a new medication that, and does it work?
Yeah.
Does the rocket get to orbit? Does the car drive? Does the medicine work? Whatever the case may be, reality is the ultimate judge here. So it's going to be reinforcement learning, closing the loop around reality.
We asked the question, how do we even go further? So actually, we are thinking about now, with single agent, we're able to solve 40% of the problem. What if we have multiple agents running at the same time? So this is what's called test and compute. And as we scale up the test and compute, actually, we are able to solve almost more than 50% of the text-only subset of the HLE problems. So it's a remarkable achievement, I think. Yeah.
This is insanely difficult. These are so what we're saying is like a majority of the text-based of humanities, scarily named humanities last exam, Grok 4 can solve, and you can try it out for yourself. And with the Grok 4 Heavy, what it does is it spawns multiple agents in parallel, and all of those agents do work independently, and then they compare their work, and they decide which one. Like it's like a study group, and it's not as simple as a majority vote, because often only one of the agents actually figures out the trick, or figures out the solution. But once they share the trick or figure out what the real nature of the problem is, they share that solution with the other agents, and then they essentially compare notes, and then yield an answer. Yeah. So that's the heavy part of Grok 4 is where you scale up the test time compute by roughly an order of magnitude, have multiple agents tackle the task, and then they compare their work, and they put forward what they think is the best result.
Yeah, so we will introduce Grok 4 and Grok 4 Heavy. Sorry, can you click the next slide?
Sure.
Yes. So basically, Grok 4 is the single agent version, and Grok 4 Heavy is the multi-agent version. So let's take a look how they actually do on those exam problems and also some real life problems.
Yeah. So we're going to start out here, and we're actually going to look at one of those HLE problems. This is actually one of the easier math ones. I don't really understand it very well. I'm not that smart, but I can launch this job here, and we can actually see how it's going to go through and start to think about this problem. While we're doing that, I also want to show a little bit more about like what this model can do and launch a Grok 4 Heavy as well. So everyone knows Polymarket. It's extremely interesting. It's the seeker of truth. It aligns with what reality is most of the time. And with Grok, what we're actually looking at is being able to see how we can try to take these markets and see if we can predict the future as well. So as we're letting this run, we'll see how Grok 4 Heavy goes about predicting the World Series odds for like the current teams in the MLB. And while we're waiting for these to process, we're going to pass it over to Eric, and he's going to show you an example of his.
Yeah. So I guess one of the coolest things about Grok 4 is its ability to understand the world and to solve hard problems by leveraging tools like Tony discussed. And I think one kind of cool example of this, we asked it to generate a visualization of two black holes colliding. And of course, it took there are some liberties. It's in my case actually pretty clear in its thinking trace about what these liberties are. For example, in order for it to actually be visible, you need to really exaggerate the scale of the waves, and yeah. So here's this kind of in action. It exaggerates the scale in like multiple ways. It drops off a bit less in terms of amplitude over distance, and but yeah, we can kind of see the basic effects that are actually correct. It starts with the in spiral, it merges, and then you have the ring down, and this is basically largely correct. Modulo some of the simplifications that I need to do. It's actually quite explicit about this. It uses post-Newtonian approximations instead of actually computing the general relativistic effects at near the center of the black hole, which is incorrect, and will lead to somewhat incorrect results. But the overall visualization is is basically there, and you can actually look at the kinds of resources that it references. So here it actually it obviously uses search. It gathers results from a bunch of links, but also reads through a undergraduate text in analytic gravitational wave models. It reasons quite a bit about the actual constants that it should use for a realistic simulation. It references, I guess, existing real-world data, and it's a pretty good model. Yeah.
But actually going forward, we can give it the same model that physicists use, so it can run the same level of compute that so leading physics researchers are using, and give you a physics accurate black hole simulation.
Exactly.
Just right now it's running in your browser, so.
Yeah, this is just running in your browser.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Pretty simple.
So swapping back real quick here, we can actually take a look. The math problem is finished. The model was able to, let's look at its thinking trace here, so you can see how it went through the problem. I'll be honest with you guys, I really don't quite fully understand the math, but what I do know is that I looked at the answer ahead of time, and it did come to the correct answer here in the final part here. We can also come in and actually take a look here at our World Series prediction, and it's still thinking through on this one. But we can actually try some other stuff as well. So we can actually try some of the X integrations that we did. So we worked very heavily on working with all of our X tools and building out a really great X experience. So we can actually ask, the model, find me the XAI employee that has the weirdest profile photo. So that's going to go off and start that, and then we can actually try out, let's create a timeline based on X post detailing the changes in the scores over time, and we can see all the conversation that was taking place at that time as well. So we can see who are the announcing scores and what was the reactions at those times as well. So we'll let that go through here and process. And if we go back to this was the Greg Yang photo here. So if we scroll through here, whoops. So Greg Yang, of course, who has his favorite photograph that he has on his account. That's actually not how he looks like in real life, by the way, just so you're aware, but it is quite funny.
But it had to understand that question.
Yeah.
Which is that's the wild part. It's it understands what is a weird photo. What is a weird photo?
Yeah.
What is a less or more weird photo?
It goes through, it has to find all the team members, it has to figure out who we all are. It,
Right.
Searches
This
X.
is without access to the internal XAI personnel logs.
No.
It's literally looking at just at the internet.
Exactly.
So you could say the weirdest of any company.
Yeah.
To be clear.
Exactly. And we can also take a look here at the question here for the humanities last exam. So it is still researching all of the historical scores, but it will have that final answer here soon. But we can, while it's finishing up, we can take a look at one of the ones that we set up here a second ago. And we can see, like, you know, it finds the date that, like, Dan Hendricks had initially announced it. We can go through, we can see, you know, OpenAI announcing their score back in February. And we can see, you know, as progress happens with, like, Gemini, we can see, like, Kimi, and we can also even see, you know, the leaked benchmarks of what people are saying is, you know, if it's right, it's going to be pretty impressive. So pretty cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how everybody uses these tools and gets the most value out of them. Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, and we're going to close the loop around usefulness as well. So it's like, it's not just book smart, but actually practically smart.
Exactly. All right. And we can go back to the slides here, yeah. So.
Cool. So we actually evaluate also on the multimodal subset. So on the full set, this is the number on the HLE exam. You can see there's a little dip on the numbers. This is actually something we're improving on, which is the multimodal understanding capabilities. But I do believe in a very short time, we're able to really improve and got much higher numbers on this, even higher numbers on this benchmark. Yeah.
Yeah, this is we still like what is the biggest weakness of Grok currently is that it's sort of partially blind. It can't, its image understanding, obviously, and its image generation needs to be a lot better. And that's actually being trained right now. So Grok 4 is based on version 6 of our foundation model, and we are training version 7, which will complete in a few weeks. And that'll address the weakness on the vision side.
Mm-hmm. And just to show off this last here, so the prediction market finished here with a heavy, and we can see here, we can see all the tools and the process it used to actually go through and find the right answer. So it browsed a lot of odds sites. It calculated its own odds comparing to the market to find its own alpha and edge. It walks you through the entire process here, and it calculates the odds of the winner being like the Dodgers, and it gives them a 21.6% chance of winning this year. So, and it took approximately 4.5 minutes to compute.
Yeah, that's a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
We can also look at all the other benchmarks besides HLE. As it turned out, Grok 4 excelled on all the reasoning benchmarks that people usually test on, including GBQA, which is a PhD level problem sets. That's easier compared to HLE. On AMI 25, American Invitation Mathematics exam, with Grok 4 Heavy, we actually got a perfect score. Also on some of the coding benchmark called Live Coding Bench, and also on HMMT, Harvard Math, MIT exam, and also USAML. You can see actually on all of those benchmarks, we often have a very large leap against the second best model out there.
Yeah, I mean, really, we're going to get to the point where it's going to get every answer right in every exam. And where it doesn't get an answer right, it's going to tell you what's wrong with the question. Or if the question is ambiguous, disambiguate the question into answers A, B, and C and tell you what answers A, B, and C would be with a disambiguated question. So the only real test then will be reality. Can it make useful technologies, discover new science? That'll actually be the only thing left, because human tests will simply not be meaningful.
Yeah, we need to make an update to HLE very soon, given the current rate of progress. So yeah, it's super cool to see like multiple agents that collaborate with each other, solving really challenging problems. So we're going to try this model. So it turned out it's available right now. If we advance to the next slide, where there is a super Grok Heavy tiers that we're introducing, where you're able to access to both Grok 4 and Grok 4 Heavy. where you're actually going to be the taskmaster of a bunch of little Grok research agents to help you, become smarter, do all the little research, and save hours of times of, going through mundane tasks. And it's available right now. So, yeah.
So we did limit usage during the demo, so it didn't break the demo, because all this stuff is happening live. So there's nothing canned about any of the tests that we're doing. So after the demo is done, we'll enable more subscribers for SuperGrok. So if you can't subscribe right now, just try in half an hour. It should work. And now let's get into voice.
Great. Abby?
So many of you have been enjoying our voice mode, and we've been working hard to improve the experience over the past couple months. We have cut latency in half to make it much snappier. And today we're excited to announce a set of new voices that have exceptional naturalness and prosody. You might have noticed the movie trailer voice that opened up the live stream. That is one of our new voices, Sal, who's got that epically deep tone. And we're also excited to introduce Eve, a beautiful British voice who's capable of rich emotions. Aman, would you like to introduce Eve?
Absolutely. Yeah, let's get into the demo. Hey, Eve. Millions of people are watching us right now. Are you excited?
Oh, I'm thrilled, really. It's like being on stage at the Old Vic with a sea of faces out there. Just imagine all those eyes and ears tuned in. It's a proper buzz, isn't it? What do you reckon we should chat about to keep this lot entertained?
We have a lot to talk about, but I'll be honest, I'm feeling a little nervous. Can you whisper something soothing to calm me down?
Take a deep breath, love. You've got this. It's just you and me, having a quiet chat, like we're tucked away in a cozy corner of a Yorkshire pub. The world's just a murmur out there. Feel that calm wash over you. Let's keep talking, nice and easy. What's on your mind?
You know what? I'm actually feeling quite relaxed to try this something crazy. So can you give us an opera on Diet Coke?
Oh, an opera on Diet Coke. That's a riot. Picture this, a shimmering silver can, glistening under stage lights. Oh, Diet Coke, thou elixir divine, with bubbles that dance in a sparkling line. Thy crisp, cool kiss on lips so fine. Oh, aspartame, ambrosia, forever mine. How's that for a mad little aria?
Do you need to?
Want me to belt out another verse or switch up the tune?
Okay, let's try switching it up and just start singing.
Right then, let's have a go. Oh, silver can, you gleam in the light. Diet Coke, my heart's delight.
Okay, I won't touch it. It's very, very poetic. Yeah, thank you, Eve. Feeling quite nice now.
Cool. So that's Eve. And so something else we do here is a little test each day to check on the natural flow of our conversations against some of our competitors. So we figured, why not try that live on the stream today?
Should I start? Hey, I'm going to say a number, and can you say the same number back to me? 1.
1, got it. This is like a fun little game of echo. What's next?
2. Sorry, I said 2. 3.
Did. 3. 4, nice and steady. What's next?
5.
5, nailed it. This is pretty fun, actually. Feel free to keep going or switch it up if you'd like.
Hey, Grok. Hey, Grok.
Hello there. How can I help you today?
We're going to do a little test. Can you repeat after me? 1,
1. All right. What's next?
2,
2. What's on your mind?
3,
3. Need anything else?
4,
4. How can I assist you?
5.
5. What's next?
So as you can see, Grok was snappier. it didn't interrupt me. And the prosody is we've made different design choices. I think we were shooting for something more calm, smooth, more natural, versus something that's more poppy or artificial. So we'll keep improving on these fronts.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yep. So since the launch of the voice model, we actually see the 2x faster end-to-end latency in the last 8 weeks, 5 different voices, and also 10x the active user. So Grok Voice is taking off. Now, if you think about releasing the models, this time we're also releasing Grok 4 through the API at the same time. So if we go to the next 2 slides, so we're very excited about what all developers out there is going to build. So if I think about myself as a developer, what the first thing I'm going to do when I actually have access to the Grok 4 API? Benchmarks. So we actually ask around on the X platform, what is the most challenging benchmarks out there that is considered the holy grail for all the AGI models? So turn out AGI is in the name, Arc AGI. So the last 12 hours, kudos to Greg over here in the audience. So who answered our call, take a preview of the Grok 4 API, and independently verified the Grok 4's performance. So initially we thought, hey, Grok 4 is just, we think it's pretty good, it's pretty smart. It's our next-gen reasoning model, spend 10x more compute, can use all the tools, right? But turned out, when we actually verify on the private subset of the Arc AGI v2, it was like the only model in the last 3 months that breaks the 10% barrier. And in fact, it was so good that actually gets to 16%, well, 15.8% accuracy, 2x of the second place, that is the Cloud 4 Opus model. And it's not just about performance, right? When you think about intelligence, having an API model drives your automation. It's also the intelligence per dollar, right? If you look at the plots over here, the Grok is just 4 is just in the league of its own. All right, so enough of benchmarks over here, right? So what can Grok do actually in the real world? So we actually contacted the folks from Endon Labs who were gracious enough to try the Grok in the real world to run a business.
Yeah, thanks for having us. So I'm Axel from Endon Labs.
And I'm Lucas, and we tested Grok 4 on Vending Bench. Vending Bench is an AI simulation of a business scenario where we thought, what is the most simple business an AI could possibly run? And we thought vending machines. So in this scenario, the Grok and other models need to do stuff like manage inventory, contact suppliers, set prices. All of these things are super easy, and all the models can do them one by one. But when you do them over very long horizons, most models struggle. But we have a leaderboard, and there's a new number 1.
Yeah, so we got early access to the Grok 4 API. We ran it on the vending bench, and we saw some really impressive results. So it ranks definitely at the number 1 spot. It's even double the net worth, which is the measure that we have on this eval. So it's not about the percentage on or a score you get, but it's more the dollar value in net worth that you generate. So we were impressed by Grok. It was able to formulate a strategy and adhere to that strategy over a long period of time, much longer than other models that we have tested, other frontier models. So it managed to run the simulation for double the time and score, double the net worth. And it was also really consistent across these runs, which is something that's really important when you want to use this in the real world.
And I think as we give more and more power to AI systems in the real world, it's important that we test them in scenarios that either mimic the real world or are in the real world itself. Because otherwise we fly blind into some things that might not be great.
Yeah, it's great to see that we've now got a way to pay for all those GPUs. So we just need 1 million vending machines.
Definitely.
And we could make $4.7 billion a year with 1 million vending machines.
100%.
Let's go.
They can be epic vending machines.
Yes, yes.
All right. We are actually going to install vending machines here, like a lot of them.
We're happy to supply them.
All right, thank you.
All right.
I'm looking forward to seeing what amazing things are in this vending machine.
That's for you to decide.
All right.
Tell the AI.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Yeah. I mean, so we can see like Grok is able to become like the co-pilot of the business unit. So what else can Grok do? So we're actually releasing this Grok. If you want to try it right now to evaluate, run the same benchmark as us. It's on the API, has 256K contact length. So we already actually see some of the early adopters to try Grok 4 API. So our Palo Alto neighbor, Arc Institute, which is a leading biomedical research center, is already seeing like how can they automate their research flows with Grok 4. It turned out it's able to help the scientists to sniff through millions of experiments logs and then just like pick the best hypothesis within a split of seconds. We see this as being used for their the CRISPR research, and also Grok 4 independently evaluated scores as the best model to examine the chest X-ray. Who would know? In the financial sector, we also see the Grok 4 with access to all the tools, real-time information is actually one of the most popular AIs out there. So our Grok 4 is also going to be available on the hyperscalers. So the XAI enterprise sector is only started 2 months ago, and we're open for business. So the other thing, we talked a lot about having Grok to make games, video games. So Danny is actually a video game designer on X. So we mentioned, hey, who want to try out some Grok 4 preview APIs to make games? And Danny answered the call. So this was actually just made first-person shooting game in a span of 4 hours. So some of the unappreciated hardest problem of making video games is not necessarily encoding the core logic of the game, but actually go out, source all the assets, all the textures of files, and to create a visually appealing game. So one of the core aspects Grok 4 does really well with all the tools out there is actually able to automate these asset sourcing capabilities. So the developers can just focus on the core development itself rather than so now you can run a entire game studios with game of one with one person, and then you can have Grok 4 to go out and source all those assets, do all the mundane tasks for you.
Yeah. Now the next step obviously is for Grok to be able to play the game. So it has to have very good video understanding, so it can play the games and interact with the games and actually assess whether a game is fun and actually have good judgment for whether a game is fun or not. So with version 7 of our foundation model, which finishes training this month, and then we'll go through post-training RL and whatnot, that will have excellent video understanding. And with the video understanding and improved tool use, for example, for video games, you'd want to use Unreal Engine or Unity or one of the main graphics engines, and then generate the art, apply it to a 3D model, and then create an executable that someone can run on a PC or a console or a phone. We expect that to happen probably this year, and if not this year, certainly next year. So that's it's going to be wild. I would expect the first really good AI video game to be next year. And probably the first half hour of watchable TV this year, and probably the first watchable AI movie next year. Things are really moving at an incredible pace.
Yeah, when Grok is 10xing the world economy with vending machines, it would just create video games for humans.
Yeah, I mean, it went from not being able to do any of this really even 6 months ago. That's right. to what you're seeing before you here, and from very primitive a year ago to making a sort of a 3D video game with a few hours of prompting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, yeah, just to recap, so in today's live stream, we introduced the most powerful, most intelligent AI models out there that can actually reason from the first principle using all the tools, do all the research, go on the journey for 10 minutes, come back with the most correct answer for you. So it's kind of crazy to think about, just 4 months ago, we had Grok 3, and now we already have Grok 4. And we're going to continue to accelerate as a company, XAI. We're going to be the fastest moving AGI companies out there. So what's coming next is that we're going to continue developing the model that's not just intelligent, smart, think for a really long time, spend a lot of compute. But having a model that actually both fast and smart is going to be the core focus, right? So if you think about what are the applications out there that can really benefit from all those very intelligent, fast, and smart models, then coding is actually one of them.
Yeah, so the team is currently working very heavily on coding models. I think right now the main focus is we actually trained recently a specialized coding model, which is going to be both fast and smart. And I believe we can share with that model with you guys, with all of you in a few weeks.
Yeah, that's very exciting. And the second after coding is we all see the weakness of Grok 4 is the multimodal capability. So in fact, it was so bad that Grok effectively just like looking at the world, squinting through the glass, and like see all the blurry features and trying to make sense of it. The most immediate improvement we're going to see with the next generation pre-trained model is that we're going to see a step function improvement on the model's capability in terms of the image understanding, video understanding, and audios. Right? It's now the model is able to hear and see the world just like any of you. Right? And now with all the tools at its command, with all the other agents it can talk to, so we're going to see a huge unlock for many different application layers. After the multimodal agents, what's going to come after is the video generation, and we believe that at the end of the day, it should just be pixel in, pixel out, and imagine a world where you have this infinite scroll of content in inventory on the X platform, where not only you can actually watch these generated videos, but able to intervene, create your own adventures. The future is going to be wild.
And we expect to be training our video model with over 100,000 GB200s, and to begin that training within the next 3 or 4 weeks. So we're confident it's going to be pretty spectacular in video generation and video understanding. So let's see. So that's anything you guys want to say? Other than that, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
It's a good model, sir.
Good model.
It's a good, yeah.
Well, we're very excited for you guys to try Grok 4.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
All right. Hey, I mean, not groundbreaking, work in progress, but that's good. I'm glad I watched this. I got a few notes here. Probably gonna give the feedback tomorrow. And hey, like I said, work in progress. I feel like they're just returning now for the work, if I can put it like this. Hopefully they gather some momentum and they advance as fast as possible. They have a lot of ground to cover. A couple of spotlights here that we saw. So I believe they have added already the voice model to their system. Now they are bringing better structure, better naturality, and different accents to it. What else do we have? We have, I want to talk about this, the unimaginable economical increase, which is by itself, it's not sufficient. It does demand other elements for such increase to be good or useful, right? So it's not very different, even though the number is endlessly more than the Industrial Revolution, which you have a crazy increase in economical elements. It's not very different, but the way it's structured, that matters a lot. Since I'm going through here, I believe I can go through all of them. The first thing that I think they have to do as well is just to keep their website updated. They have a really nice website. I do think they had to have the blog and everything else over there updated. I think that's a simple thing, just working these basic elements. And once more, congrats to them. Let's keep going. Now you got going, now let's keep going. Unimaginable economical increase, which I think it's how those things are organized, how those economical elements are organized. It's not just a huge increase and this where does the resources go. So if the resources go to the improvement of electricity development, increase, so on and so forth. Like if it goes through those overall elements of communities, so on and so forth, that's excellent. But if it just goes like somewhere else, then that's not a huge advantage, right? It's an economical increase, but for what cost? Let's put it like this. They are still improving on the image generation. That's good. Keep on going. Improving vision and understanding. So they, like they said, like it's kind of pixelated. They are not there yet. They did not even present us with anything in that sense. That's okay. Probably the next generation. Recently, they might show us some results. Interesting capacity for complex tasks and deep research. For those interested in that, that's fine. For me, nothing crazy there. I'm more for the practical use on generative content, some research, some feedback, but nothing like too specific or too complex in that sense. What else? Possibly inventive capacity in the future. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen with overall AI. That's also interesting. The voice model, I talked a little bit about it. They made a ChatGPT versus Grok. Okay, of course, they selected, they knew exactly what they were selecting, which competition they were selecting over there. But it was good outcome. Like sometimes I think it's annoying that the Grok or ChatGPT always make the question after, but I think they're kind of programmed in that sense, like to keep engaged or to keep you engaged. So sometimes I have to say, hey, just don't make questions, just keep on answering. That was cool, and I think the last one that I thought was interesting was the game development, which also it's not there yet, meaning like Mirage. This week we saw Mirage. So Mirage is pretty impressive. So Mirage is developing that spontaneous world generators. So that's pretty interesting. But like I said, so it was good to watch this. Like I said, they got back. Now they just need to keep going. I feel like that's the main thing. So, hey, thank you all for being here. Like, I reached a peak. Definitely gonna say thank you tomorrow. Make a video thanking everyone that's been here. Come back later, leave a comment, leave a like, or even dislike, but just give me your feedback so I know where you're coming from. And see you all next time. Thank you very much once more.